Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's been 100 years, it feels like, truly, since we last sat down at this table together. Welcome to Season 2 of Sanguine Dominion. We are joined tonight by our beautiful cast. Mandy Sharmy, Daryl Brendan. There is one person tonight that is missing. That is Tex, our lovely ya boy big Ian. He won't be joining us this evening, but trust and believe, next week he'll be back in top form. As a little recap, where did we last leave off? Where was our coterie? We found ourselves at the tail end of a fantastical hunt for an individual thought to be diablerized, slain, assassinated. One Prince Kyle Strathcona. A few things led to that not being the actual case. And through a pretty sincere, pretty traumatic series of events, our coterie ended up squaring off against one of the primogen of Prince Strathcona's former court, one Christian Lavallee. I'll let you go back and watch those episodes and check in on those details, but where we sit now is seemingly at the cusp of an investigation into trouble brewing underneath the surface of Calgary proper. A sort of creature or collective that is propagating in the sewer systems and now more terrestrial buildings of Calgary proper. Now, rather than ruminate on what that could be or where the coterie is going right now, we're actually going to zoom in on someone that is outside of this circle. It is inside of a dimly lit chamber underneath the surface of Calgary. Cracked stone, old mosaic tablet work, moonlight ever so slightly filtering in. A creature that stands some 8 or 9 feet tall, bat-like wings extending from the back, chiseled musculature, gray skin with black marbling veining throughout it, stands in the center. A small dais is near the north wall, and rotting pews line the actual chamber proper. Speaking slowly, voice like grinding granite, Pothanos, the gargoyle, speaks up, postulating to himself. I have awoken, and the world has not changed. The war still burns. Vampire devouring vampire. Schemes inside of schemes. Feuds older than the city in which I stand. I had thought, hoped, prayed, when I finally stirred, that this madness would be buried underneath the dust of time, but no. It endures like me. 1,000 years it has been entombed inside my own mind, and still I remember. Not all, just echoes, a hearth, a name, my lover's voice. Before the blood, and before the stone, before I was shaped into a weapon. It is clear to me now that they have stolen that life. It was torn from me, they tore me from it. And yet I still remember enough to hurt. And now I walk this world again, free of the chains that once bound me. But what is freedom to one who was forged to obey, to fight, to protect that which I was forced to love, now with no master and no purpose? I wander. And the cruelty of it all is that the only voice that I have grown to trust is one of them. One of the butchers that cut me apart, sewed me together, cooked me down to my base, and forged me into steel to be used. But they speak gently now, with remorse, with guilt. I believe them, and I hate myself for it. And so I ask the night, what am I now? A relic? A monster? Am I a soul lost to time? Or am I something worse? The large figure stretches their wings, bits of stone brushing off, his feet cracking the masonry beneath it. He sits on the dais, puts his head into his palms, and the gargoyle weeps. And then we zoom out. It has, for our coterie, been either a day or two to a week since they last gathered together as a full troop, but that doesn't mean that they have not been busy, that they have not schemed and gathered together for the good of the domain or to advance their own plots. And now we find ourselves just above the magical shop that is run by our own member of the Sorcerers. December. December, you are enraptured. You have spent a lot of time poring over the fragments of this document that you have received from the Dean. And while it's nice to, pour over it with your own eyes, you have certain secrets and certain methods that are a little more direct, a little more brute force, a little more supernal. I ask you, what does it look like as you draw forth Vitae in order to pull and scour the secrets of this tome?
December is kneeling on the floor in her upstairs workroom of the shop. Furniture has been cleared away to the sides of the room, and she has drawn in chalk symbols, places to sit. She has the important objects that she believes will be involved in this search before her. 2 grimoires she knows of that are in her collection, other important books around. And in her hand, the long dagger. Multiple glasses, goblets, I should say, of Vitae are sitting before her, and she prepares herself to call in her blood.
As you do this work, do you have anyone else present?
Yes, there are 2 members of the coven at the edge of the room. She's instructed them beforehand that should the search need to be boosted in power, she might require their services. But until then, to simply observe.
As you stand over the document, could you please describe exactly what you glean out of this? And could you please make the appropriate roll?
So the goal is to investigate what information is within the grimoire related to soul shards and diablerie. And so, like, thinking that diablerie is like the base category, soul shards is the specific, but anything related to each of those within these ancient tomes that she's kind of picked up the surface level information of, but not dug deep as of yet.
Okay. And I believe you need 3 successes?
Let's see. Okay. Anything from 2 for a single letter up to
Right.
5 for encrypted information. So I believe it will be up to you, but I'm going to make a rouse check, and then I'm going to do an intelligence blood sorcery. So, check first. Ooh, I get hungrier. And then I forgot how many. All right, I am rolling the. Yeah. Oh, come on. going to use a willpower to reroll up to 3. Is that correct? Okay. Five successes.
A very similar fashion to how information has appeared to you in the past. It's been abstract. You've, rather than had, grand codified insights that are just shunted into your brain, your magic takes a far more physical and almost grounded form. The letters leap off the page, grabbing hands with one another as they become these anthropomorphic, bipedal, humanoid, almost like figures. They meld into one another until they become a small animal sitting on its hindquarters, paws underneath it, a forward-facing set of eyes, snout, teeth, and it looks up at you. And it speaks. What do you expect? What do you want to learn? Are you running out of time?
There's never enough time to learn. I need to know more quickly about the soul shards and the power that can interact with them, remove them.
Remove them? No. No. That never happens. It's part of the curse. We live forever. If you don't end it, and you decide to consume, and the last breath and the last thick, slug-like vitae is drawn out of one of ours into another of ours, and you keep drinking, you reap what you sow. Some stains don't get removed. That stays with you. You sit with that. I can tell you something, though. It goes all the way to the top. You want to know about shards? You want to know about diablerie? The amaranth is what we call it. It goes all the way to the top. There was a story about a man that was not so far removed from the eldest. And he thought to himself, this curse has become too much. I will wander the land, and I will delve into the secrets of this world, and I will speak to the most powerful high upon high, and I will find out what I can in order to remove all of the horror and hardship. I will take the ashes out of the mouth of my brethren. And he didn't. Because what he was trying to do was consume God. Diablerie is hubris. It is that wanting more. And the further away that you get from the eldest, the more that you want it. Because the blood is thin now. And things are a little muddy. It feels pale. And it's so easy to just consume your elders. But those
What
stains
if you
stay.
are What if you are an elder and you consume?
Oh, that's just greedy. And it depends on how old you think elder is. What is an elder? Are generations something that matters? Are generations real?
Can be. They're far back enough.
The creature gives you a very rictus, stiff, black grin. The paradigm of your reality is the outcome of millennia of social manipulations. That's what's in this book. Do you want to know what's in here?
Yes. Tell me.
From the end of its tail, it starts to fade away into smoke, drifting away back into letters, and the words leave its mouth. Nothing that you think is real matters. You rule nothing. Your kings mean nothing. Your elders are nothing. You are dust given life, and it is mortals that rule everything around you. Life matters. You don't. And then the animal fades.
December sits perfectly still, staring at the place where the creature of words once was. She ponders this because, in a way, she agrees.
Your coven members stand behind you. It is the two twins, Corey and Kiki. And Corey walks up behind you. December? You okay? I smell smoke.
It's just an after effect of the spell.
Okay. Yeah.
It worked. Not that it helped, but it worked.
Is there something we can do? Do you need to write anything down?
Yes, bring me the book. And by the book, she means her personal tome.
Right.
Chock full of her
They bring you your
most important notes.
They bring you your personal grimoire and lay it out on the table for you. And does that feel appropriate to zoom out? Perfect. It's there that we pull away from the austerity and the dusty tomes, the sterile environments, the stacks that are inside of Midnight Moon Magic. And we find ourselves in a far different venue. Music thrums, neon lights line the floor. There are plush rooms. A new nightclub has opened up within Calgary. One that's been worked on for some time. It's called the Wolf's Den. It is very reminiscent of the elegant parlors and gentlemen clubs that are in the highest echelons of Eastern European society. somewhere between Bohemian and a den of iniquity. It's there that we find Lupe. Lupe, you find yourself surrounded at a circular table in a private room by supple, warm, gently scented, eager flesh.
Of course.
There's one individual who is one of your own. That being your club manager, the one known as Inez. A medium-toned, long hair, model-esque, goth appareled individual who runs the club like a business. Someone who has been trained and brought up in mortal society to be exacting like you are. A thin coat of beautiful makeup that is just underneath the surface something incredibly dangerous, deadly, serious, and seductive. Inez, over the din of music, cups Lupe's ear. Ma'am, there's an individual who's requested an audience this evening. One Trevor LePage. He says that it's important, and he left a note that he said that since it is close to opening, he's going to dress up. He says he won't be wearing his blues, as he called them.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Do you have the note? Give it here.
Yes, and she reaches into her breast pocket and she produces a piece of 8x11 lined paper that has been ripped out of a notebook, a ringed notebook. And it's been folded a couple of times. It seems to have a coffee stain on it, and she hands it over to Lupe.
I look it over. He said close to opening, meaning like Wolf's Den?
Yeah, because the Wolf's Den has only been open for a very short period of time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very new. I look it over. Do I see anything that got left out in the note that I should know?
Give me an intelligence plus investigation.
Question: Is our hunger level the same as it was last session, or is it reset?
No. Absolutely. You've had the chance to feed, and your hunger level should be 1.
Got it. And what am I rolling?
That will be intelligence plus investigation.
You got it.
I'll hear arguments. As always, I like to impress on folks. I will hear arguments for other attributes and skills being used, but go ahead.
Intelligence. I hadn't scrolled down far enough. Investigation. Okay. Wait, is that right? That's not right. Sorry. I rolled not the correct amount of dice.
That's okay.
Let me take one away. Right. Yes. There we go. Boo. 1 success.
1 success.
Yes.
You look over the note, and the only thing that you can really glean out of your cursory glance at it is that it was written pretty exacting. It seems as if he's trying to write neat, so to speak. Maybe give a little bit more of a professional air.
Oh, okay. Well, I will hand the note back ever so carefully, ever so gently, to Inez. Is he here? Is he waiting?
He is. Yeah, he is. He is sitting out in the bar area. I believe he's just having something to drink.
Got it. She turns to her guests, who really are just a bunch of kine, pointless, useless. If you'll excuse me for just a moment, I have some business to attend to. And she will rise from her seat. Lupe is first outfit of the season. Oh my god. She is wearing very appropriately to the occasion. She is wearing a corset that's kind of satin looking with a metal golden snake that seems to be like formed around the corset that leads up to the bust and circles around. So that the head of the serpent is just above the bust line. And long pants, heels that the actual heel aspect is another golden snake. And yeah, she's just fully decked out because this is her new club. She's bringing in new clientele. And a lot more than that. So she saunters her little way across the club to the bar.
With a slight protest from the kind gathered within the room, clamoring for your attention in small, minor ways, but eventually acquiescing, the crowd parts as Lupe passes through the dance floor, passes the stand-up bar, and eventually hits the more private one that is reserved for special guests and individuals who have been invited. It's a very quaint 6-seat bar that sits on the second level of the Wolf's Den. Sitting there, the only patron is Baron Trevor LePage. He is wearing a sport blazer, a simple white shirt, and a set of black jeans. He's got a wristwatch on that seems to be some sort of designer watch. You're not entirely sure if it's like Bulgari or if it's like a Rolex or anything like that at a glance, but it is designer. He's wearing a simple gold cross necklace, tasteful, simple, and he has in what you haven't noticed before, he has a single draped, almost like George Michael-esque hanging cross earring. This is about as dressed up as you have ever seen Baron LePage. And he sits at the bar, sort of like swirling his drink, not having actually drank a drop, and seemingly waiting.
Well, you clean up nice.
Yeah, thanks. You look great too. I don't really go out to clubs a lot. I haven't been out to a club since like 88.
You can relax. This isn't your typical club. Unless you're looking for something other than business, of course. And she will slide into the seat next to his.
He looks over to the seat. I will start with business.
Fair enough.
I believe you wanted to talk to me?
Yes. Well, it seems with everything going on, the list, everything that we need to look into, that, if I may be so bold as to say, you might need some guidance, some assistance.
Almost as if it's rhetoric at this point. He rattles off a statement. The the movement can use all the help that it can get, and I would love to start tracking down the individuals that are on this list, especially, and he looks around, and then he looks to your bartender, and he's like, is he on the line?
Oh, they're fine.
Okay. Especially fucking Grafton. To be so blunt, that bitch is on the chopping block. And if we can take her out, then
Good.
I'm so ready to do it.
Well, if you want to talk about real plans, while this is a relatively safe space because it is new and no one knows to infiltrate it yet, perhaps we should retire to another location for the moment.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Follow me. And she will get up promptly without giving him the chance to get up, and she expects him to follow her.
What you don't see as you saunter off is he like looks around. He's like, yeah, and then he like gets up and then and starts following after you.
She will lead him to a side room that is marked employees only, and it is an office. And she will close the door behind him once he's in the room with her. I have reason to believe that she's not fully within her faculties at the moment, given our last encounter with her. Now, what's better than a dead Grafton?
You see the
Should I
gears
answer my own
start to
question?
turn. He's like, two dead Graftons?
No, dear. One that is in your debt. A life debt.
That's tough.
Is it?
Well, yeah, how are we supposed to do that? Listen, I'd love to have a pet Archon, but I can't imagine, like, what are you getting at?
If we can free her from whatever is controlling her mind, great. And if we can't, bye-bye.
Are you talking about extorting an Archon?
I mean, if you save an Archon's life, does she not owe you a life debt? Is that not our way? And imagine if there are witnesses to such a thing.
How do you prove it? Who has the clout that they could go word for word against the Archon? Because the Archon's going to deny it, tooth and nail.
Well, I'm pretty popular these days. You have quite a lot of clout. Perhaps I could find someone in the Camarilla to witness such things. We have so many options.
I don't hate it.
Now, of course, if we can't save her mind, we can just put her on the chopping block, as you say.
Yeah, I guess if the
It would
other
certainly
plan
make my
is-
life a lot easier, but I would much rather have a pet Archon. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. We could actually get the Camarilla out of this fucking city. For good.
Exactly. Of course.
You and your coterie. Do you really think you can pull it off? I mean, really.
I have every faith in my coterie. And more importantly, every faith in myself.
I have faith in you.
That's good.
I have faith in Deacon.
What are we getting at?
You have an ex-cam warlock working with you.
Aren't both Deacon and myself ex-cam?
There's a layer that gets added when you're ex-pyramid. I've worked with them before. It's the only time I've really been bitten and had it stick.
Couldn't the same be said about Ventru? Couldn't the same be said about Ministry?
There are rules and there are strictures about them. You really have to burn every single bridge when you leave the pyramid for it to stick.
Last I checked, December likes fire.
Has she ever mentioned a name Karna?
Yes.
In what context?
That is the house from which she hails. I don't think that's a secret.
Secret to me.
Perhaps not amidst the coterie.
Okay. Well, I'm not opposed. I think that this is a decent plan. What do you need from me?
I love that question. Just the usual. Assistance, resources. Take care of my boy uptown. I know he's undercover currently.
Is he?
Perhaps. Maybe. You'll never know, I guess.
I would like to roll a wits and insight versus a charisma subterfuge.
I love charisma subterfuge. Yay! So many dice. I believe for my specialty, I get an extra dice.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. Notice I didn't say what that was. Alrighty. That is... Oh, very nice. 4 successes. And I'm gonna burn a willpower just for the hell of it.
Okay.
To re-roll the 3 that didn't. Nope, still 4.
If anything has actually registered on the Baron's face, it's just confusion. He's not entirely certain what you're talking about, or if you're actually just leading him on. He looks at you. All right. Well, I guess we can be a little granular about it.
All right.
What specifically do you need from me? Do you need money? Do you need influence? Are you needing muscle? What do you need from me?
Depends on for what. For the Archon? All of those things.
Well, you say that you're going to free her from her bonds. She is a terribly powerful and influential individual. I am presuming that we are going to have to block and cut off some of her money, her influences, her favors that are owed to her. We need to black out her ability to move and shake within Calgary. I can help, but my help only goes so far. If you need, I can very likely put a block on any maneuvering that she tries to do in the public sector. If she tries to have a street shut down, it won't be. If she tries to have anyone infiltrate into our blue-collar networks, they won't. I've got a fairly firm grip when it comes to anything street level within my city.
That works. I can work with other contacts for other means.
Okay. She's going to have a far harder time moving people.
Perfect. The harder it is for her to move her goons, the better.
You know, I don't think we've ever really talked about it. I mean, really talked about it.
Talked about what?
Why did you leave the Camarilla?
Oh, this question. Everybody asks this question.
I'm not asking in a professional capacity. I've been playing this game for a long time. The Revolt versus the Tower. It's a game. And one thing that I've really learned after being on this side for so long is that only the young really care to make changes. People like you and me, it's about power. It's about comfort. And it's about safety. So which one was it?
Does it have to be just one?
No.
Well, it's not.
So what did it? Couldn't stomach it anymore? The bootlicking, the abuse, the oppression, the knowledge that at the end of it all, no matter how many rungs of that ladder you climb, it goes right up to the sky, and there will always be someone ahead of you to kick you back down.
Climbing my way to the top has never been an issue. In fact, I've heard rumblings that some of the Camarilla would like for me to come back and be prince. Not interested. But I had had enough.
They all do. But what did you have enough of?
I had had enough of being used and treated like a pawn. I think you, of all people, should know I'm a lot smarter than that.
You know, I've met Liam.
All right.
I don't
So
get it.
most leaders
I don't get it.
don't get what?
I met him when he first came to the city. When I was just an anarch. There was no dreams of being a baron. We were allowed to live here. And he, and I later learned you, infiltrated into the court, wormed your way into the hand of the prince, and got right up on his shoulder. So, How is it that someone so smooth and so seductive and so intensely talented at social engineering and maneuvering and pouring vice into the city, how is it that he fumbles so hard that his own child leaves?
Without getting into the nitty-gritty, I warned him, and he did not listen. I gave him a chance to right his wrongs, and he didn't.
Right his wrongs.
Against me.
What did he do?
She can't really hide the face that she makes because she just looks mad. He did not place value in what he had.
I doubt that that's the whole story.
I think you're gonna have to earn the whole story if you really want it.
The reason I pry is that the person that you left, who you were so close to for so long, and has so much information on you, still works for the other side. And if the circumstances were messier, and you left behind a paper trail, or he has a massive vendetta against you, or you burnt that bridge, or you spurned his advances, or any other myriad events that could have happened that left him bitter, I should know.
Well, if anyone should be bitter here, it's me. He's the one who fucked up, not me.
Well, if you still feel raw about it, maybe you should try to bury that hatchet, or put him down. I'm not going to push you one way or the other, as for the moment, this is your problem. But I've seen enough kindred love to know that it gets very messy, especially when you mix politics into it.
Fair enough.
That all being said, if you would like, you and I could share a drink sometime. And maybe we can empty out our own closets. We can have a good chat and actually get to know one another. Because besides you doing work for your own benefit, I don't really know you. And I like to know the members of my court.
She looks down to the desktop that she is sitting on at some trinket or another, something overpriced and plated in gold, and looks back up at him. You want a drink? We can drink sometime.
I would like that.
All right. And for the first time in this conversation, she crosses her arms over her chest. Well, unless there's anything other official you'd like to discuss. I don't want to take up too much of your valuable time.
I'd rather not have multiple conversations like this. I want to get to know you.
All right.
I want to get to know your coterie. I want to trust Deacon. I want to trust Uptown. I want to know that December is not something that is going to become a problem. Texas is a good man. That I know. But
Yes.
I foresee us, specifically you and I, working together as peers and getting far closer when it comes to the matters of the city. And it would behoove us to, share some stories.
All right. Let me know when and where.
How about here again?
Here. All right.
I like it here.
Oh, good. Then I designed it correctly.
It reminds me, and he like gets this like whimsical look in his eye. He's like, it reminds me of Penthouse, New York private club back in
Hey.
85 in the best way
Vegas,
possible.
actually.
Vegas. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yes. It's modeled after a place I used to work at.
Really?
Here's a little story for you. In case it isn't abundantly obvious, given that she motions to her office, given that I run this place. I used to be a working girl. Different kind of work. Certainly not the collar type.
Huh. That's
I know what it's like to live in the street, LePage. I've been there. I spent most of my living years like that.
yeah. Huh. You wear it well.
Yes, I do.
Well, I think I'm going to take my leave.
Farewell, then. Let my assistant know when you'd like to have another meeting. A little notice would be helpful.
LePage gets up. He takes out a notepad and just like a total technophobe, does not use a phone, does not add anything to a calendar, does not send a date or anything like that. He writes down 11:30 p.m. Thursday. And then he rips
Oh my
that
God.
off and he hands it to you.
You'll send me text messages, but you won't text a meeting appointment.
Well, I'm here right now. Yeah, I'd like to do it this way. I don't like texting.
Noted. Maybe my future communique will be by way of courier then.
Send a pigeon.
Good night, Baron.
Have a good night, Lupe. He walks out the door. We're going to zoom out. It's a bit of a shift, but not intensely so. Plush carpets, austere furniture, stained glass, stone walls, high ceilings, art, but of a more theistic slant. We find ourselves in one of the foremost Catholic churches of Calgary. Our Lady of the Bleeding Heart. We find ourselves on one side of a confessional booth. Deacon Hill sits inside of that booth. The partition veiling a different individual sitting on the other side. Deacon.
Yes.
You find yourself sitting across from an individual who, for a very long time, had intended to groom you into their clan. A person who now acts as a mala, a true ear and point of advice. Someone that you've gone to for some time. Father Mario Giordano. He sits on the other side of the confessional booth. You can see the hint of his white collar, his black parishioner's robes, his slicked back hair, his black brows. Good evening, my son. Tell me.
Good evening, Father.
How have you sinned?
Oh, let's see. I've probably shot a few people, threatened a few people, had lustful thoughts, had lustful activity. Well, I think that just described a typical night for a kindred that actually uses a pistol.
Now, I could tell you to say 50 Hail Marys or 30 Our Fathers or count your rosary. Or were you looking for advice on how to sin better?
Hmm. I don't think I need advice on how to sin better. I can pretty much get away with most things if I'm careful enough. No, I need... You know, I'm being vexed by something. I've been being vexed by it for years, and I just recently found out what it is.
Well, please, my son. Tell me everything.
Storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Mario.
Yeah.
How much of his history do I know? Was he a part of that third group among the Anarchs, the Cam, and the...
We're going to take just a gentle step backwards, and we're going to describe what Deacon Hill knows about Mario Giordano.
Gotcha.
Mario Giordano was a pack priest turned bishop in the city of Calgary long before Kyle Strathcona decided to flip sides to the Camarilla. Mario Giordano is a sinner through and through. He is a bad man. This individual has killed, fucked, sucked, destroyed, and corrupted his way from the very bottom of vampire society all the way to a lofty position as an advisor to any who will listen. Mario Giordano, on paper, is now an autarchus, supposedly outside of the realms of the Camarilla and the Anarchs. A powerful enough individual that he gets to act independently. He runs the church. He pulls strings in such a way that the religious that operate within Western Canada bend the knee to him. And in doing so, he has become indispensable due to that iron grip. Mario Giordano also wanted to embrace Deacon Hill. Saw the potential. However, Deacon Sire got to him first. But Mario, being the non-spiteful type, has kept that olive branch extended and has made on several occasions an offer for Deacon to come and join the La Sombra, the Brethren, join the congregation. Now, that is what you know at surface level. Former Sabbat turned Camarilla turned autarchus. Now, so you said something was vexing you.
There's something ancient in this city. And apparently I've been on its trail for quite some time thinking it was one thing. It turns out it's another. You've been here a long time. How should I go forward in hunting something that is so powerful that it has enthralled Vamp and I know this is strange coming from a kindred older than myself, but you know what I mean when I say older than myself. Most everyone's older, but I'm talking about on par with you.
How would you go about subverting something that is ancient and terrible? You know, there's a really good point in history, a very important pinnacle of revolution that happened some 600 years back when it came to this exact thing. Old, codgerly, tight-fisted, thin-lipped, pale, calcified elders pushing their luck by being flippant with their responsibilities to their youth. I won't get into the details, but it ended with one of your own being deeply embarrassed. But I don't think that that was necessary. Hardestat was just a symbol. a symptom of oppression, plain and simple. But how we did it was numbers. My boy, you simply have to throw enough fodder into the chipper until it jams. That's how you do it. That's how we did it. You can have a couple of sparkling individuals, but I think the wheat will separate from the chaff eventually. You just ghoul sire, take what you want, use it the way that you want, and then eventually the thing that sleeps under the city, this deep, dark, horrifying monstrosity, this machine of destruction will have its cogs jammed up with the flesh of those that you have thrown into it. That's how you do it.
Internally. And this is the reason for the lighting change. The mention of Hardestat makes that voice come out in the back of his head. He didn't have to mention the embarrassment, but I don't disagree with his plan. Make what you need and throw it at until it's dead. And then the adulation and the bowing at your feet and all the things that our clan is deserving of. So you're... And I'm talking to Mario now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be lying if I say it weren't a bad plan. Well, no, I'd be lying if I say it were a bad plan. Excuse me, I misspoke. I don't do that normally. Yeah, that gives me steps in the right direction. Because as we are now, I don't think we have the force.
There's one other way.
I'm listening.
Well, if you're worried about it taking over your mind, I have a trick. A very simple, routine trick of the blood that should make it so this creature can't turn you against your friends.
Is this something that is inherently La Sombra or something that is inherently Mario?
It's inherently vampiric. Developed by very educated individuals in the name of bucking against the elders. It is not La Sombra, and it is not Mario. It is Kindred.
Well, what is it? I have my guess, but I want to hear you say it first.
People these nights say it like it's a curse word. but it's just the Valdery. You and a group of your friends will gather around, make good of one another, bleed together, drink together. It will heighten your bonds. It will make you feel connected. It will give you fellowship. And it will give you security.
This is a sign of how young I am. This is the first time I've ever heard of such a thing, but...
Oh, perfect. I would love to be your first.
No, I heard that a lot growing up when I was still kind. Never from a priest.
No?
No, that wouldn't have gone well. There's a part of me, Daryl wanted to use that. Just be like, I think there's a lupine about. But
no, I do understand. If you have trepidations, that is fine, but I do encourage it. I would never want to force you into something that you didn't want to do yourself. I'm just here as a tutor.
And I appreciate it. You've given me a lot of information, and for someone like me, information is a weapon in of itself. So as always, I thank you for your patronage. I'll keep you updated with the ancient thing under the city. It's not just any monster. It's one of the oldest of us. In case you wanted to warn your flock.
Deacon, that's what they all say. I am the oldest. I am the most terrible. I am the creature under the earth. I am the monster on the hill. You will fear me. I am strange and I am alien.
It didn't say anything. We found it, others found it sleeping.
It's just seldom the truth. An ancient sarcophagus that has been dredged up out of the bottom of the sea and plunked onto some proxy prince's desk in some sunset city on the west coast does not a Methuselah make. That is all I'm saying.
I've heard that story. Wasn't it filled with bombs in one version?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm here if you need me.
And I appreciate it. Oh, like as I said, I'll keep you updated.
Please do.
For now, I have an investigation to get back to.
I feel that's an appropriate place to zoom out. For every seductress, for every warlock, for every investigator, there's a little freak boy pushing his dirty fingers into the underbelly of the institutions of Kindred society. And usually, those are the ones that get the most traction. You see, in the grand scope of the realpolitik of Kindred existence, it's usually those little freaks that really get under the skin and bite into the meat of the matter. They're the ones that you don't see coming. We're in a boardroom. Kitschy art lines the walls. The grain of the wood is some sort of OBS board. The chairs, not really comfortable. It's that paneling, that faux carpet, rug-like paneling that lines the walls. The fluorescent lights that dot the ceiling. And for my neurodivergence at home, you can feel the hum of the electronics and the lights under your skin, the dreaded overhead light. It is all of the horrible corporate banality condensed into a single room. And it's here that we find a team. Gray and black suited cis white men sitting around this table, holding tablets, sitting in front of laptops, spectacles on, flat faces, showing that they were never pretty enough for anything more fun, and they are not nearly ugly enough for the freak show. And so you sit in the gray, uptown, wearing the guise of someone altogether not himself. You, one of these caucasity-filled finance bros, speaks up. So you're asking for the financial reports and the tax documents going back all the way to third quarter of 1993 for one known as Duncan Howley, including all of his aliases. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, tremendous. Now, you have offered in exchange as recompense in perpetuity until the end of the universe in all of its forms, the offering of the disciplinary power auspex, up to 2 disciplinary powers inside that subset. Is that correct?
Yeah, no time limit's fine. Are we set on 2 powers? Is that a hard line?
Mr. Trent has been fairly clear that he is going to require at least 2 of these powers. The circumstances by which he needs them have not been defined.
Mm-hmm. Do the tax documents go back further than 1993?
Tax documents on one Primogen Duncan Howley and his aliases go back. We have been given dispensation to give you this information in order to find a better bargaining position if required. The tax information goes back to 1934. And it does cross international lines, so there would be requisitioning needed if that were the case, if anything is going to be requested before the year 1959.
I assume that additional requisitioning would require a little bit more something on my side of the bargain.
We have a direct line to Mr. Trent. If Mr. Trent is to be contacted, he has a list of wants, demands, ready and waiting, depending on the severity of the ask on your end.
Okay. For an additional minor boon to be called in at Mr. Trent's leisure, could we go back to the very beginning of those tax documents? Is that amenable?
1 second. You hear the click-clack of a shitty non-mechanical keyboard, something that you would find in a Dell business laptop, like a ThinkPad or like a Google Chromebook, or something like that, like a very gross, like... And then you hear the distinct, I'm sorry for my corporate girlies, the distinct ping of Slack. It goes off. Yes, but there is a caveat on placement. Mr. Trent would see that boon called in very likely before the end of the meeting. He has a favor in mind. So your timetable notwithstanding, he has not mentioned the specifics of it, but he has not inclined to tell the team specifically what the call-in will be. He has mentioned, though, however, that it goes against the spirit of a boon given in good faith to know the exact parameters of how that boon will be called in before the transaction is complete.
No, that's totally fair. I would absolutely agree that if I'm offering a favor, then I don't really get to, make distinctions about how it's called in and all that kind of stuff. So I'm more than happy if I can pay it back right away, even better.
Yeah, okay. Give me 1 sec. Slack ping. Yes, Damon Trent is amenable. Should you wish, we can finalize this transaction, and you will receive the financial documents in triplicate. You will receive hard copies as well as digital copies in the form of PDFs to use as you wish.
I would appreciate if there were no redactions or as minimal redactions as possible in these documents, if that's okay.
The team has been notified that the documents will be sent as is. They have been undoctored. They are quite literally just financial statements and tax records from Duncan Howley, aliases et al., back to the beginning of his financial history as we know it.
All right, amenable. Uptown as Vincent stands up a little awkwardly and kind of reaches out to shake hands, but he's not sure who to direct it at, and then he just settles on the guy that he's been talking to.
Yeah, he extends his hand on behalf of Damon Trent Enterprises. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to doing more business with you in the future. If you have any questions, our personal line is our public line is always open, and Damon Trent has...
Do you have a card I could take, just so that I have that number?
I don't have a card personally, but Damon Trent has given us the go-ahead to give you his personal line to his office.
Okay. I pull out like a notepad, not a phone, because I know that that's kind of sketchy to be having a phone. So I'm like, okay, hit me when you're ready.
Yeah, he gives you the number.
Very good. All right. Tucks it into his pocket. So should I find him right away? It sounds like he wants to get started.
Yes. He will actually be joining us through a video call here shortly, if you are amenable to that.
By all means.
Okay. He has requested that we all leave the room, and then he turns around the screen, he clicks the call button, and then walks out of the room.
Okay.
The call goes through, a video window pops up, and you see the visage of Damon Trent. Primogen.
Primogen? I hear I can do you a favor.
You can.
All right.
This is sensitive, and it cannot leave this room. I know that you have certain skills when it comes to erasing the paper trail and the physical trail of us.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to remove any information that one Deacon Hill has on me.
Deacon
Hill.
Yeah, okay. I know who you're talking about. That name
Okay.
sounds familiar. Do you know what he has on you? That would give me a start.
I am clanless.
Even underneath the Vincent profile, Uptown is shocked. So his shock is genuine. Oh.
Without getting into the truly deeper politics of all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
I am tired of being beneath a member of my clan that does not share the generation and the age to be in that position. I have fought
I understand.
to be where I am,
Mm-hmm.
and I am tired. I do not want harm to come to him,
Mm-hmm.
but I cannot have him lording this over me.
I see. And just to clarify, I'm not trying to pry into your business at all. Is this something that's known outside of your clan or the people that answer to, or the people that you answer to?
The people
Is
that
this
know about this is yourself, myself, and Deacon Hill.
Okay. All right. I can see what I can do. I would feel more comfortable having something from you to guarantee my silence if somebody asks about this. A minor boon feels like, from my understanding, this should probably be at least a major to keep it a secret, but I'm not trying to pressure you into anything here. I care about your safety in this more than I care about extortion, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be anything set in stone. It can be a promise. It can be something like that.
I can teach you disciplines that you won't find elsewhere.
You have my attention.
I will not say more until what you've needed
Until
to do
what
is
I've
done.
Yeah, okay.
We can
Okay.
come back to the table if what I'm offering isn't enough.
Certainly. Okay. Yeah. It's concerning to me that somebody on the other side of the fence now Or I don't know if he's on the other side of the fence. Is he? I suppose you'd be the one to ask.
Deacon Hill's an opportunist. There is no fence.
I think in this particular situation, that's even worse than you calling him an anarch. Or him being one.
Don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
I have no malice towards Deacon Hill. He is a member of my clan, even though I do not know truly what that means sometimes. But what I do know about it is that the Blue Bloods stick together, that we support one another, and we do not betray. And in my opinion, he has broken that social contract. And it is only just that I right that wrong. We sit in positions of jockeying. We always want to have one up on one another. I respect Deacon. I find it to be difficult to stay respecting him when we are not on even ground.
I'm not going to pretend I understand what goes on with the Blue Bloods, but it is a commonly known fact that you all stick together like that. And so I understand where you're coming from. I will do my level best to get that ledger cleared.
I want to work with him, not for him.
Well, I hope that your business relationship stays fruitful and peaceful.
So do I.
All right. Thank you for your time, Primogen. I will leave you to it, and I will get to work.
One more thing.
Oh,
This
what
is
can I do for you?
This is a point of personal curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go? Flight logs say Vancouver. I have my doubts. No one could find you.
Well, Primogen, I think in my haste to escape something that I saw but maybe wasn't necessarily real, I wasn't necessarily going anywhere in particular. It was mostly going away from the responsibility that I now find myself in. This isn't something I asked for.
As Uptown weaves a lie in a persona about a circumstance that is not his own, can I please get a charisma plus subterfuge?
Would you accept manipulation?
I would so accept manipulation.
Okay, very good. I'm going to rouse the blood because I'm lying for my fucking life right now. I succeed, and I get 2 more dice. So you said manipulation and subterfuge?
Manipulation and subterfuge, yeah.
And then 2 more. I will spend a willpower, because that doesn't feel like quite enough. Five successes.
Uptown is familiar with being got.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's not quite enough to go on. The lie's fairly believable. But you get the distinct impression that Damon Trent doesn't feel like that's the whole story. And that to him, it's not quite a finished discussion. But
Uptown will let it hang in the air for a second. And as he gets that vibe, he'll just like kind of close his eyes and like pinch the bridge of his nose and say, "Tell you what, why don't I tell you about it another time? I got work to do."
that I can acquiesce to, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else, Primogen,
Good doing business.
always a pleasure.
And we will zoom
I let
out.
him hang up.
Yeah, absolutely. As he hangs up.
Really quick before we zoom out, Uptown gets down and outside the building, and as he's walking down the street, feels good to be back. Toothpick in his lips.
All right.
Human break?
Folks, that's where we're going to take our little 10-minute bio break, human break. Everyone have go drink water, go eat food, have a good little 10-minute break. Also, as always, listen to me now. Hear me for the first time this season. It's been a month, everybody. I know we might have fallen out of your mind, but please, please, go tell your mom, go tell your dad, go tell your sister, your brother, your cousins, your neighbor, your local congress person. They need to know now more than ever. Tell your dog I love them. Tell your garbage collector and your mail provider. Call your ISP and tell them to give you a better rate so that you can watch us in a higher resolution. I and my beautiful cast will be right back. 10-minute break. See you when Strathcona was on that table. Anywhere.
Yep.
Somehow they got a hold of a part of the body of something far more terrible.
I would love to talk to this thing, is what Lupe thinks to herself. But out loud, she says, "So, hopefully, I'm not the only one who's thinking this." And I look at December very specifically. That ritual was obviously not for Strathcona.
Correct.
Everyone who was involved, who was present, could have a shard of this thing. That is extremely possible. And they're likely not strong enough, hence the madness. Only the truly worthy would be able to play host to such a thing.
Uptown kind of gets a glazed look on his face as you're talking about the, like, pieces being scattered and all of that sort of thing, Lupe. And he's looking right at you. Have we talked about truth?
Storyteller.
I can't remember.
What do you mean? We talked about truth?
Yeah, I seem to... was that the dream that I kept having about Maquette and Sutek? Those weird names?
Yes. That would be, I would expect, visions of the past.
You know what? Never mind. It doesn't really make sense. And then as he finishes the sentence, it doesn't really make sense. He kind of fully glazes over and he utters, "The Founder's fate. The 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 Founder's fate. Founder's fate is fickle." Snaps back. Sorry, did I say something?
Only
Of
speaking
course.
truth, my dear. The founder's fate is
Funny how
indeed
that works.
fickle.
Yours or mine?
Both.
This is lining up with what
I believe you.
Anatoly had said to us.
Mm.
The
One
The
moment,
ritual-
everybody. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Are we having a little bit of an audio desync problem? Do people seem to be talking out
Yeah.
of sync? Yeah, okay. I'm getting
Mhm.
that 100%.
Little bit.
I am going to real quickly.
Should we take a quick tech break?
Yeah, we'll be back in 5. I'm definitely gonna solve this one. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
Hi, everybody. We're back. So sorry about that. So we come back to, I believe it was Lupe speaking to the authenticity of this ritual being conducted on something altogether alien and terrible rather than Kyle Strathcona.
Yes. So I think it is, well, makes a lot more sense than what our original theory was based on the evidence we had before.
It does seem to line up better with what Anatoly was telling us about the ritual of the Greater Rose.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't Strathcona, then who was it?
That is what we need to figure out. We need to find more shards.
I agree. Which means those who were present and anyone else acting out of character.
Oh, yes.
Well, I can always
My
talk
understanding,
to...
all of them.
I can always talk to
survived.
Damon. Oh, excuse me. The Ventru Primogen.
I know who you're talking
Who else
about.
is on the list?
You guys are probably gonna see a little less of me in the coming nights. I got something worked out with the constable. I'm gonna be a little indisposed, but it will get me chances to investigate this sort of thing.
This isn't
Not
going to be
ready to
another
get-
Candy Crush situation, is it?
It's not gonna be a what?
Another Candy Crush situation.
I don't know if I told you about the Candy Crush. How'd you figure it out?
I'm always watching. I own a lot of stuff, and you all talk a lot about stuff in places that I own.
All right, fair
This
enough.
is also Daryl.
No, I don't
This
think
is also Daryl trying to. This is also Daryl trying to save face here because he's just like, I don't think he did either.
What
that was
Candy Crush
Daryl
thing?
trying to
Go on,
cover.
tell me.
Oh
No,
my
it's
God.
okay.
No, that was Daryl trying to cover. Shut up. Vampires.
No,
yes.
it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. I need $10 million to hire artists situation. This is serious work here, Deacon. I am capable of that. I want you to know.
I'm aware of what you're capable of. I'm just not going to pay you $10 million. If you had asked for 2, maybe I would have given you 2. 10 was too much.
Are you... Uptown, are you going to tell us where you're going, or can you not?
I'll
tell
be in
us?
Calgary still. That is the truth. As
She's
much as
thinking
I'm
about
willing
the
to
toothpicks
tell
in
you.
her purse now.
How bad do you want to know, Lupe?
We can talk about that later, I'm sure.
Got something in your teeth?
I might.
All right. Find me later then. I'll be around. That is what I will say.
As everyone sort of pieces these things together and comes to their conclusions, as Texas sits there, freshly come out the other side of a diablerie, can I please ask, what does everyone else do for the evening? Is there anything else that you would like to do? Would anyone like to go their separate ways for a while, a few days, conduct their own business? Does anyone want to speak to anyone privately, etc., etc.?
As far as Deacon and Tech... Oh, sorry. As far as
go
Deacon
ahead.
and Texas goes, as we're leaving this evening, Texas would have woken up without his motorcycle cut on. And he probably would have noticed immediately. While Deacon was standing in the corner watching Lupe and December go over Tome, set up this elaborate ritual, he had been cutting Sergeant at Arms off of his cut and then re-sewing another patch on. So before we leave, he hands it to Texas. He says, "If I'm a king by my clan, and you're a warrior by yours, and you're always by my side and I'm always by yours, Sergeant does not work for me. That one, I think, works better for both of us." And if you look down at the patch, it just says General on it.
He's like, holds it up, and he looks at it. He puts it on, and he goes, "Feels right. I appreciate it."
Also, Sergeant at Arms and an MC, that's the third person. I may be the president, but you're definitely not a VP. You're my partner. You're not my second. But I still have an ego.
Whatever. Kiss my ass, Scarface. All right, whatever. I appreciate the gift.
Oh, by the way, December said you should come by the shop more often, and then I toss him the keys to his truck, and I just walk out.
Really? They said that? I should eat more people. And then you just
no, you just hear fashion. No.
Nope. You said okay, but you see him kind of just do one of these as he goes to the truck. Got a big truck. Gonna drive a big old truck. He's real excited.
I have one thing that Uptown does in the next couple of days. He shops for some new outfits.
Okay.
And he does some... He's seen around town just kind of being out on the town again, like he was at the very beginning of this story. We see him at Cowboys. We see him at Lucky's, the karaoke bar, or whatever the name of it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he has seen... Yeah. The only thing that comes to mind is Rick Diggins' Man About Town. That's what Uptown's doing right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lupe, you had something?
I think either that same night or the night after, since my meeting is in 2 days, Lupe would find Uptown.
Okay.
And just...
You find him at the country bar.
Lupe is so distressed to have to walk into a fucking country bar. A punk dive is one thing. A country bar is another. This is the antithesis to everything Lupe is. She very actively looks like she's trying not to touch anything in the bar.
Wise choice.
She will just very delicately drop the toothpick onto the bar top while very specifically not sitting down on a chair and not touching the bar.
Uptown notices her. He's on the dance floor dancing with some young college thing.
I make sure you see me before I do it. I don't just walk in and do it.
He very kindly thanks the lady for the dance early and says, "I'm sorry, I have to go see a friend." And walks across the bar. Doesn't look at you at first. Picks up the toothpick, puts it in his mouth, and then holds his hand out like this.
You're gonna make me dance in this bar?
How bad do you
She
want to know?
rolls her eyes. All right, all right. I thought I got to choose the terms of confession.
You do. And he pulls her
Fine.
out onto the dance floor, and they start. He is a shockingly good dancer in a country bar, you find. And he kind of like pulls her in close so that she can whisper in his ear. What's your question?
What is your little mission?
You know that thing you taught me?
Mm-hmm.
I expanded on it.
Excellent.
And he looks down at one of his hands, the hand that's kind of holding your hand out to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of turns it over for a moment. And then in a flash, the hand is lithe, the nails long. You're looking at a copy of your hand. And then just as quick as it happens, it's gone again. I'm gonna be someone else. I've heard through the grapevine you twisting Primogen around your finger.
Yes. I have been known to do that from time to time.
I'm gonna do you one better and be one.
Excellent.
And he spins you out at that moment.
Have fun. Tell me all about it when you get back.
How many toothpicks you got left? And he goes,
Enough.
disappears back onto the dance floor.
As she leaves the bar to walk out to her car, she is absolutely like, she's a Kindred. She doesn't need hand sanitizer, but she's doing it anyway. Because this bar is just so gross to her.
Very good,
Absolutely
yes.
using a little bit of hand sanitizer, even though it is so not needed.
The bar definitely smelled like stale beer,
Bottle
wood
Depot.
chips. Yeah, very mildewy bottle depot vibes. Not great. Yeah. So fantastic.
Please. Even when Lupe was kind, she didn't go to places like that.
Of course. We're going to fade off of that scene. And we're going to join.
I just wanted to pop in with one quick comment on what December is up to. It doesn't need to be delved into. But if anyone mentioned to her that there was someone on the roof, she would want to go up and check it out.
Deacon would have said, "Hey, the gargoyle's up there."
Yeah, Lupe.
He really would have said that.
I'm so glad someone said something. That was getting left alone. No one said a fucking word. But I guess
you got
distracted by the new ghouls. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. The ghoul. I totally get it. But all right, so you go up to the rooftop. Pothanos is standing there, looking away from you. All 9.5 feet chiseled, winged marble form of him, looking down on the street below. And what do you do?
December will just step up beside, kind of like in the shadow from the street light, and say, "Hello, I'm just checking in to see how the thinking is going. You can stay as long as you like, but I just wanted to say hello. She is nervous as hell.
I am conflicted.
What are your options?
I would like meaning, and I would also like vengeance.
Vengeance against who?
Yours.
The clan? My elders? Or me?
That is a complicated question.
Well, I'd ask that you keep in mind that I have welcomed you to partake in my safe haven, so I don't want you to return to servitude. Make your choice, and if you need someone to talk it out with, I am here.
The one with the gall that spoke to me.
Tim?
He asked of me things, where I was. I think he may know circumstances surrounding the destruction of where I once was. Or he's somehow connected. I would like to talk to him.
That can be arranged. Is it going to end in bloodshed?
If he attempts to do what the others have done to me in the past, I will reduce him to his base components.
If that is enslave you, then that is a fair reaction.
I believe I need to know what he knows.
It'll take a few days, but I'll arrange it.
I have time.
Enjoy your night, Pothinos. And
He
she goes
says-
inside.
Yeah, he says nothing. Okay. We'll leave that little thread for another time. I think we're going to zoom in to Deacon. We join Deacon, I believe, at his haven proper. We've gotten descriptions
Yes.
of Uptown's strange cork cube storage container setup. We have gotten the occult shop that is the haven of December. We have seen the stone, dark, mysterious, sensual temple that is Lupe's haven. However, we've yet to see Deacon's. What does Deacon's haven look like?
One, it is not a place readily found by anyone, and yet it is still opulent in the way that a venture would want opulence. It is, he has, like, you have to go through a gate to even get onto the grounds of it. And even then, there is no front door. There is only the garage that opens up that lets him drive in. And within that are just the core 4 vehicles that are Deacon's, that he believes are his 4 favorite. There's his truck that we saw in the first episode, the bike that we saw most recently, his Honda that was briefly mentioned, which is fully souped up street racing car, which he loves. And there is another bike, which is one of those ones that has a jet engine in it because he likes to go fast. That entire floor is just for working on his personal vehicles. There are a few of the like the boxes he brought out with weapons for everyone else. There are a few crates that resemble that. The entire upstairs area is lavish. Like he has a personal theater. He has a large bedroom. He has a house that's good for entertaining guests, but at his core, even as charismatic as he can be, he is an introverted creature. No one has been here but him, but it is a place that has been built to possibly entertain people. From the outside, he has designed it. He basically renovated an old firehouse. Near enough to like the actual downtown area of Calgary that he could quickly get to where everyone is, but far enough out that if he were being followed, it will become very obvious that he's being followed. And where he spends the majority of his time is personal office, which is completely painted black, no windows, gigantic mural of Gotham City on the back wall. He loves Batman. Two very large, like he loves Batman. He loves Batman.
Yeah, I get it. It makes.
Does he own a few? In the theater room, there are a few bat suits in glass cases. And then he also has just a this almost swordfish-esque computer that he sits at, and next to him, and then on either side he has a corkboard. Like this office, he basically made his own bat cave, but he didn't want it to be a cave because he's too rich for that.
I have a question, and this is purely for Aaron.
Yes,
this is for Aaron, and he doesn't need to leave this.
Go ahead.
Has Deacon worn the bat suits?
Deacon had his own custom one made for him.
That's what I thought. Tremendous. All right, that was just for me. No one else knows. Not a single one of you other motherfuckers know. Don't want to hear the meta. Don't you dare. That's for me. So as you walk into the Deke Cave, what exactly are you planning on doing? If I can, I think I have a pretty good guess. So I'm going to predicate this with an ask. Can I get you to roll me an... This is tough. Because sincerely, there's not a lot of intellectual data to go off of when it comes to this. This is the pure psyche. This is intuition. This is gut instinct, pattern recognition, and perhaps an almost neurotic attention to detail.
Yes.
I think it would be wits plus investigation instead of intelligence.
Will you allow me to add 2 dice to Blood Surge?
Go ahead and rouse, yeah, please.
If this is too off the cuff for me to do that,
no, a blood surge can be added at any point in time. There's only a few rolls that it can't be added to, and it can be added at any point in time.
This is me being greedy because it's legitimately a 1 dice that I have to lose, changing it from intelligence to wit.
Please.
I get hungry. I get hungrier.
Okay.
I'm at 3.
Okay.
I've been worse. I'm gonna roll these separately. So that's 8 dice. That is 3 successes right there. Let me separate those so I don't knock them out. And the other 4. I'm gonna burn a willpower.
Please.
I haven't done this in quite a while. I have no check marks on my willpower.
I was gonna say, yeah. When was the last time you
hungrier.
burned will? Yeah. When was the last time you burned willpower?
It's been a while. I've been in great control of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hyper focused. You know what? I've got it to burn. I'll burn another one to re-roll these last 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
You start connecting dots. The threads that have been mentally maintained in your head start to be fully pushed into the corkboard that is your supernatural sketch of Calgary. You have been hunting down what might be living in the sewers. You didn't name it. You've never had a real idea of what it might be beyond the terrible thing that lives below that can tear a kindred apart in moments. You thought perhaps werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
You thought perhaps spirits. A kindred experiment gone wrong. The last thing that someone wants to assume when they are a kindred is that there is a Methuselah that is walking amongst them and specifically is out of control. With 7 successes, that is a monumental amount. I think I'm going to turn it over to you. What dot does Deacon want to connect here?
Sorry if I have to rehash a few things.
Go over it.
Lavali was investigating things, but at some point became corrupted, and then there were 2 Lavalis and a gargoyle. from what I was told by December, we have to find the shards. Lupe is Lupe. Uptown is doing Uptown stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How much would Lupe have actually said? Because December would have disseminated the exact information that Lupe would have had, and Lupe wouldn't have probably said it if she didn't have to.
I think she's been pretty open with the Coterie about this.
Oh, it's not a
investigation.
thing of like you not being open. This was if December said everything that Lupe would have said, Lupe wouldn't have said anything. That's what Deacon means by Lupe is Lupe. If there was no point in saying anything,
I think she would at least confirm that matches up what she knows as well, to reinforce
gotcha.
And back December up. Yeah.
So the dot that he would want, at least for, because it's honestly fuck the Camarilla, fuck the Anarch things. How does he get what he wants? The dot he wants is, how do I where is it? Like he's trying to figure if that's not a dot he can get to, who definitely has the shards. But if he can get to where can I get to the Methuselah and either drink it for myself or destroy it fully, how can I zero, like, if he has a map up, zeroing in on quadrants and things like that.
So I feel like what you're asking
and I apologize if that's way too broad.
I feel like what you're asking for is a sense of direction as to a location that this creature may be in.
Yes, or frequents, because we've established that at least the plant monster can move and go invisible.
Certainly. You have a moment that might feel very obvious once I say it. You've been given in no real uncertain terms, map of hyper supernatural locations within the city.
Mother fucker.
Places that have needed to be contained. Locations that were former incredible places of ritualistic power for vampiric sects that went before. And the physical locations where Kindred have disappeared. There are places within the city that hold massive amounts of power, and you would feel the fool if you did not investigate whether or not they are connected. Something freaks you out a little bit. Those HOA Stepford wife motherfuckers were hiding a very sincere secret.
What it looks like as he's like literally connecting strands to whatever as it becomes, all of the information is on the left side, and then he realizes everything leads to that list of addresses that he found years ago. Like, no matter what string he has, it always comes back to, well, that. And then he steps back and looks at it, and then because he's gotten so used to hearing his beast talk to him, because beast is just his own inner psyche stating the obvious that he knows. He goes, This is usually just a one-way conversation, but I hate missing the obvious. And I actually didn't. I just didn't want to go there yet. Oh, shit.
You're trying to speak to your beast right now?
No, he's not trying to. He's honest because he's always by himself. He usually speaks to himself. But
you'll get something
sometimes
back. You'll get
when
something
he's angry
back.
enough, the beast does something back. This wasn't I didn't want to go there yet. And it was a big puzzle piece that I had already had. I had all the edges. I had most of the center. I was just missing like 5 quadrants.
You hear that beast in the back of your head. You know, if you had a nickel for every time the most obvious answer to your problems was right in front of your face and you ignored it, well, you could have bought another batsuit.
You know, one day I'm going to really have to stare hard at the fact that I only make these mistakes when I let other people in.
Can I let you in on a little secret? Because I'm you.
Sure.
And
It's
you're
just
me.
us. Yeah.
So you know that you know this. The only way to get me to shut up,
I do,
is to be a better person. And buddy, you're the worst.
Be a better person. Oh, be a better person. I haven't been a person in 10 years. Some would argue I haven't been a person since I was about 14.
Silence.
And as he's staring at this board, he kind of goes back into his seat in front of these large monitors. And after speaking to that voice, he remembers the other one he's been hearing. The one that isn't just him. Speaking of answers.
Do you make the call?
Yes. This one's been long overdue.
A double-ended encrypted call, video call, is made to a number that is in New York. A petite, well-dressed, pencil-suited Chinese woman is on the other end of the call.
From his seat, Deacon does bow.
She says nothing and waits for you to speak.
Hello, Jasmine.
Mr.
And
Hill.
by the way, this is completely in... this starts off in Mandarin. Mr. Hill. We haven't been that formal since you first embraced me.
You haven't called me in a while.
I've been busy.
Too busy for me.
It's no excuse. It's no excuse. I apologize. Things have been very hectic here in Calgary. More hectic than... I met a gargoyle, just to put a level of how hectic it's been. I didn't even know those things were actually a thing. I thought that was a bogeyman people told about the Tremere. I met a fucking gargoyle.
Is there a point to all this, Deacon?
Putting off the question I need to ask you. Because this is a question only you can answer.
Let me help you.
Because you're more... our bloodline. Does it, do Ventru normally hear more than, the beast?
You see her purse her lips. Jasmine is very likely the most unflappable person that you have ever met in your entire life. Time is money, and money is God, and she spends it exactly the perfect, precise, algorithmic way to make the most of it and apply that power in incredibly pressuring ways to make sure that the clan looks clean and incredibly authoritative. She is the picture-perfect Ventru. So, to see her even make one facial expression that is out of line or seems involuntary is a little bit alien. But she does. You're speaking of Hardestat.
Excuse me?
Hardestat the Younger. The one who was the progenitor of our clan's position within the Camarilla, the one that was conducting the entire tete-a-tete at the Convention of Thorns, the one who was besmirched by Sasha Vikos, and the one who is now this very night dead at the hands of Theo Bell. Yes, you speak of our sire's sire's sire, correct? That is the voice that you are hearing in your head, imperious, British, and very hard to ignore, correct?
Yes. He's been looking in. So, wait, hold on. I knew we were of, quote-unquote, pure Ventru bloodline, but I'm of the bloodline of the progenitor of the Camarilla. Like the guy who made the Camarilla. That's us.
Do you think that I could have pulled all the strings that I did, get you in the positions that you are in now, and had you come all of this way without touting the fact that we are from Hardestat himself? Yes, that is where you are from.
Yes.
Do not get me wrong. You have merit, and you have gotten yourself very far. I am proud of you.
Don't hurt yourself saying that.
But this complicates things.
That I'm hearing him or the gargoyle?
I could not be any clearer that I do not care about the gargoyle.
I wanted to bring levity, what can I say?
Yes. Jasmine, the sire of Deacon Hill, notable comedian.
Oh, you've told a joke or two in our time, though.
Yes, you're right. I do every so often bring up the Toreador, but that is neither here nor there. What I am saying, though, is that you hearing Hardestat's voice means that he very likely has plans for you. You are going to be hearing it more and more. It is going to get more and more insistent. It is not like the beast. It may align with you. This may be a good or a bad thing. It is going to be very dependent on the agenda that you have, evening to evening.
Good to know. I appreciate you calling me. Well, shit. Nope, Daryl didn't say that. I appreciate you answering questions.
The last thing that I will leave you with is that this condition is known as having a silver lining. There are few who have had it. There are even fewer who can utilize it in any real way. If you are chosen by our clan, then I do truly look forward to the day that you usurp me and take my position as a paragon of the venture.
Usurp? You would be my most trusted advisor on my ascension, my dear sire. And I promise that I will call you more. And next time you're in Calgary, I'll make sure you're welcome very lovingly.
She furrows her brow at the mention of advisor, and she just says, Deacon, either you are once again being a comedian, or you have much to learn. For the only way that I will ever find myself below you will be as a pile of ash on the floor, or if you somehow blood bind me.
Or
you can take your pick.
Or the other way that, oh, you've been below me before. Let's not act like, come on. There was a third way. I wasn't even a vampire then.
This has been pleasant, Mr. Hill. I await your next call. And then Jasmine hangs up.
It's always pleasant. Oh, God, she loves me so much. Hardstat. Progenitor of the Camarilla. If you're in my head listening, you might have plans for me, but I think I have a use for you. And then he shuts down his computer and goes to the actual bedroom where he has that bed from the first Blade movie that completely covers him.
Of course you do. We're going to zoom out.
Yes.
A night has gone by. There is one order of business that should be conducted, and it is Uptown's. We are going to take care of that very quickly. Uptown, how exactly do you fill your nights before you start staging these integrations of yourself as the prodigal son of the Clan Malkav coming home?
So glad you asked. Everyone gets a going away present. The following evening, after Uptown does his running around, at each of your havens, or wherever Uptown knows you frequent, Texas and Deacons, yours arrive at the clubhouse. Lupe, yours arrives in your club. Again, somebody obfuscated in. And December, yours arrives at your shop. Each of them contains 3 things: a vinyl record, a gift of some sort, and a card with words written in them. We'll start with you, Texas. The record: Creedence Clearwater Revival's Run Through the Jungle, 45, the single. The gift is an old wall clock and a note on the back that says, "Time's a funny thing. I'm sure you'll use this when you need it." And when you look at the time, it takes you a while to figure out, but it is set to the exact hour and minute that you diablerized Christian LaValle. The time of night. And in the card, it reads, "Tomorrow, tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." And you see it says, that part of the card is signed William Shakespeare. And underneath, in much more familiar handwriting that is Uptown's, it says, "You can build 100 bridges, but if you fuck one pig, they won't call you Tex the Bridge Builder. The real battle is just beginning. Hope you're ready. Your pal from Uptown." And "your pal from Uptown" has a question mark at the end. Deacon, the record: Money for Nothing, Dire Straits. The gift is a second card. You take it out and read it. And it says, "Dear Mr. Hill, I am humbled to write to you today to thank you for your generous donation to our Faculty of Arts program. The WAVE Scholarship Fund will allow dozens of students each year to attend digital art and animation programs for decades to come thanks to your generosity, and we cannot thank you enough. Your charity truly knows no bounds, and Calgary is greater for your community organization, presence, and involvement. On behalf of the Faculty of Arts, you have our utmost gratitude. Sincerely, Layla Smith, Dean, Faculty of Arts, University of Calgary." You didn't spend any money on this. You know you didn't. I know you didn't. Uptown had the money the whole time.
Yeah. I was a financial investigator. I knew that.
Mm-hmm. And the poem, or the card, has a poem in it. "I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 'Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert, near them on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage loves whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare. The lone and level sands stretch far away. Signed, Percy Bysshe Shelley." And underneath that, "Your pal from Uptown." Your pal from Uptown has a period at the end. December. The record, "The Great Gig in the Sky" by Pink Floyd. The gift, a gun with safety instructions and an old blood smear on the handle. And in the card, "The 1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne as I best could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. You who so well know the nature of my soul will not suppose, however, that I gave utterance to a threat. At length I would be avenged. This was a point definitively settled, but the very definitiveness with which it was resolved precluded the idea of risk. I must not only punish, but punish with impunity. A wrong is unredressed when retribution overtakes its redresser. It is equally unredressed when the avenger fails to make himself felt as such to him who's done the wrong. It must be understood that neither by word nor deed had I given Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I continued, as was my wont, to smile in his face, and he did not perceive that my smile now was at the thought of his immolation. Edgar Allan Poe. Your pal from uptown. ... Lupe. The record? Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. The gift? A printed photograph of a very old list that someone once misappropriated from the good sheriff of Calgary. Folded up neatly in an envelope for you. And the card? Our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. This one's signed a little differently. It does say signed by William Shakespeare, but crossed out right next to it, signed Lady K. And at the very bottom, your pal from uptown, !
I truly hope you all put those onto your character sheet. We'll zoom out from there.
I'll post the list later.
Please. We'll zoom out. There is an appointment that has come up. Before that appointment, you get a phone call. Lupe.
Who's it from?
Longtooth.
Excellent. I pick up the call. Good evening.
Hey, doll. I got a little bit of info.
Oh, is it anything salacious?
No, it's boring, actually.
No.
It's just a couple of cleaners that have been coming in and out.
That's all, huh? Nobody else?
No, seems like that office is completely closed. It's just being maintained.
Fair enough. All right.
It's been refurbished. They knocked down a couple of walls.
Was I aware? I don't recall that being part of the plans, but that's fine.
It looks like they've turned it into some sort of conference hall. Big long tables. Lots of video screens. Good Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like for hosting. I don't know.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Thank you for keeping an eye.
Yeah, it was painfully easy.
Stay safe out there.
Oh, probably not. Later. And then he hangs up.
She is disappointed by the lack of intel, but not terribly surprised.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to get ready for my meeting. I want to look as devastatingly beautiful as humanly possible,
Okay.
but also a little bit professional. Given we're having a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Lupe very specifically, very specifically, like, make sure that she is done up to the nines more than is typical. Hair done, nails done, everything immaculate. Before she heads to this meeting.
You put all of the effort that you possibly can into looking devastating, dangerous, beautiful, and if Lupe is good at truly one thing when it comes to navigating the different meeting halls of Kindred Society, it is the fact that she can very easily use beauty as a threat. And that is firmly on display tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way to the office building where the meeting is supposed to be conducted. It's a simple affair. There is a secretary that sits waiting to let you in. You easily bypass, and you are led to one of the many conference rooms. Sitting, already seemingly impatient, waiting, is a woman wearing a very tight pencil skirt, gray slate top, blonde hair put up into a bun, tight, professional nails, dangerously pointed, a laptop in front of her, which she closes gently as you enter. But can I please, as you enter, ask you for a wits and insight?
Okay. That would be 3 successes.
The bust, the legs, the neckline.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. If you went out searching for the closest carbon copy that you could find of yourself within Calgary, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few imperfections, a few blemishes, some things that are not quite right. Skin not a little bit paler with the gift of unlife. There's not the air of dangerousness. There's not the perfection that you have. There is not the hallmarks of generational beauty. You're looking at an insult. You're looking at a poor imitation of Lupe. As she closes her laptop, she looks at you and says, "Take a seat."
And you are? I'm not sitting. I'm standing.
My name is Marissa.
Is it now?
It is. I've come to understand that you have been making quite the waves within the Anarch movement.
And what is it to you?
Liam.
Did you buy that off the rack? I look at her outfit.
This?
I'll have you know that Liam expects better. Typically. You could learn a thing or two. Now, why are you here? Exactly.
I'm here to make you an offer.
An offer.
An offer.
What sort of offer?
Liam says that if you come home and things go back to normal, that all is forgiven.
Is that what he said?
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard, is it?
Well, he's very busy. I might be, paraphrasing.
Oh, you're paraphrasing. And he's so busy. Does she smell human to me?
Oh, very much so.
Does she smell like him?
Give me a wits and awareness. Sense fade.
That sounds like his. That is 5 successes and a crit.
Your heart thumps. That same red line. Supernal beat. As his scent fills your nose.
I'm going to kind of lean against the table a little bit. I'm still not sitting. And I'm kind of looming a little bit closer to her. Does she move away?
At first, she sort of jerks back involuntarily, but she tries to.
I activate awe.
You activate awe. Okay.
I do.
What do you say?
Sweet little rabbit. You are in the wrong den. Where is Liam?
I would like you to make me a charisma plus intimidation plus presence.
Okay. Whoop! There goes one of my die. Well done. Okay, that is... I am going to burn a willpower. That is 4 successes.
She quails under your looming presence. I don't know where Liam is. But if I did, I wouldn't tell you. And then she gets a little bit of gumption. You can tell. You've read body language for decades. When someone who is hopped up on the impression that the person they're representing is far more important than they think they are. She says, "Listen, I wasn't told to come here and parlay. I was told to make an offer. And as far as I can tell, when you come back, things are going to be a little different."
Oh, are they? Different how?
Well,
I would love to hear this.
I am going to go to Liam and I'm going to make sure that I get to run roughshod over his little failed experiment. Because I'm not letting go of what I earned.
What you earned?
Yes.
Earn this. I'm gonna grab her by her hair and smash her face into the table again and again and again, as many times as I possibly can.
Marissa's face breaks with the first blow. Can I get it? Can I get a strength and brawl very quickly?
Absolutely. I'm gonna rouse the blood. I do get hungrier, but it's worth it. That is 3 successes.
To the surprise of no one, this slender, businesslike woman is not a trained combatant. Sometimes looks deceive. These ones didn't. You grab her head and you smash it into the desk. She shrieks in pain. And again, blood sprays. It gets on your dress and the things that go through your head. Dollar values. Irrelevant. Again, bones crunch. Wood splinters.
They don't stop.
This goes from anger to rage to the destruction of a human that represents what you've been wronged by. With the last strike, you have pulverized this person to the point where you go to lift her head one more time. Scalp, bone, viscera comes back with it. And what's left of her head is gone. You've made a mess.
I drop it. I will look at my handiwork, lick my lips because I'm sure there's blood all over my face. And I'm going to, ever so carefully, pull out a little hanky from my bag, wipe my hands, and I'm going to pick up the phone. And I'm going to give Lester a call.
The phone rings. The phone rings. The phone rings. Lupe?
Lester.
It's been a while. How are you?
Oh, you know how things are. I was doing a little business and I made a little oopsie.
Did you make a mess?
I may have.
Oh,
Could you come
gosh.
help me, please?
How urgent is it? I don't have any... You know what? It doesn't matter. I have nothing else planned for the evening. I would love to. Can you send me a pin?
Absolutely. You're gonna need extra supplies.
I'll bring my utensils.
And she will end the call and send him a pin.
Do you wait for Lester?
I will. While I'm waiting, the laptop is closed.
The laptop is closed, yeah.
I'm gonna use my claws and into the laptop.
Just fry it?
I'm gonna break it.
Okay.
Yep. And I would like to, since I'm going through the trouble of having my claws out, carve into the tabletop. Fuck you.
You hear a phone ring coming from the pocket of the woman you just killed.
I'll pick it up. I'll pick up the phone, not answer the call. What name is on the screen?
Liam.
I'm going to pick up the call. I am standing there oh so casually as if I didn't just absolutely decimate a person. And I will pick up the call. I don't say anything at first.
Hello? Hello? Marissa?
Oh, Marissa. Marissa had a little accident. And you're going to be next if you don't come to the table next time. I hang up.
Okay. A short time later, Lester arrives. Lester has a weird name. Lester the Digester.
I love
A moniker that
him so
might
much.
bring certain unsavory things to mind. Lester is a tall, handsome man. Either he always wears a guise, or he's very good at prosthetics, but he's a very handsome man. Tall, chiseled, three-piece suit. As he gets there, he takes out an attaché case and another. He sets them on the table. One he opens up, and then he begins to speak to you. You see that it's full of all sorts of different cleaning chemicals and solvents. Lupe, how have you been? I'm so sorry for the bad circumstances all the time, but it always seems that I'm here at the worst possible moments, but it's good to see you.
I really should just call on you sometime just for fun one of these days. It is so wonderful to see you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely.
How are things?
Busy. Busier than you'd think. The city's a mess. I'm getting paid, though. Oh my gosh.
I bet. As you deserve.
And then he opens up the other attaché case, and inside is a selection of cutting tools and different surgical implements and all of these different kinds of things. We're talking about scalpels and saws and, the different accoutrement of dismembering a body. And he starts laying down some plastic sheets that were inside of the actual bottom of the case, and he sets up a little bit of an area for him to work in. So what are the circumstances for the death of this one? Just kidding. I don't care.
I know you don't.
I don't want to know. I don't care. And the fact that I can't even recognize their face is so much better. So I heard you're fully with the Anarchs now. Hey, that's sort of the around the rumor mill.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say I've moved on to greener pastures.
I'm proud of you. That's cool. That's super cool. You left your lover, Liam, right?
Right.
You know what?
She glances down towards this "fuck you" on the table.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, listen, whether or not you two had a falling out, I always thought really highly of him and you. You know, people fall on hard times. We're all a little bit boo-boo. So, like, it's hard. It's hard for everybody. I'm really sorry that you're going through it, but if,
It's fine.
Okay, well,
It's fine now. She gestures to the body.
Oh, hey, congratulations. Some people do therapy, some people, so it's good. It's good. Okay, well, he starts piecing up the body and sort of doing his thing, and he takes off a couple of pieces, and then he sits down at the table. Yep. And then he pulls out from a jacket pocket a bundle, a cloth bundle that looks like a napkin. He rolls it out on the table, and you see that he has a large fork and a very sturdy-looking steak knife, and what can only be described as a scooping implement. And he says, well, I mean, you're welcome to share a meal if you like, but most people don't really like getting into the grisly parts of what I do. So feel free to, feel free to take your leave.
Just wanted to make sure you were all set before I did my thing.
I'm so set. Thank you for setting the table.
Yeah, of course. And we should have a proper chat sometime, just for fun.
Oh my gosh,
when you
yeah.
Get time. You're so busy always.
I've been busy lately, but like so have you. I've heard crazy awesome things, and I'm so glad that you've come over to the Anarchs, and that's really exciting. Yeah. Baron LePage has been really good to me. Since he took over the whole situation.
Don't worry, I have sung my praises to him. Not that you need the hype, but I certainly reinforced it.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, enjoy. We will talk payment later. As always, you know where to find me.
I'll send an
Usual
invoice.
price, I'm sure. Yeah, send me an invoice. And she will also casually brush herself off, even though she wears black. So even though she's covered in blood, there might be a little bit visible, but it's not immediately apparent. And I will exit. And my next thing to do is to text Longtooth and get him to wipe the security footage of this building for me.